All right, welcome back in, you guys. We got One Piece chapter 1143, brief spoilers. My name is Sai, and today we are here to talk about what the hell is happening in this latest chapter of One Piece and just have some fun with it. If you have not read the spoilers for yourself, though, I will be linking it down in the pinned comment. And also, there will be a link over to Pew Piece's Twitter account, which is where I found these spoilers in the first place. So, with that being said, getting right into it, the title of the chapter is simply The God Knights. Oh, my favorite faction in One Piece, dude. I'm so excited. So we see that one of my theories this week gets disproven, and that's totally fine, right? Theories are meant and made to be disproven in the first place. But we do see that Killingham and Sommers joins Gunko's ranks, and they actually have genuine devil fruits. Yep. No tomfoolery here. They actually just have devil fruits, and we learn what they are. So Sommers has the Iba no Mi, the thorn fruit, which we kind of saw coming, right? We saw Sommers' design. We saw that his sword had this weird thorny guard. He even talked about how to love one another is to hurt oneself. And it's like, okay, this guy's all about the thorn thematic. And yes, that was on the money. He has the thorn devil fruit. And it turns out that he is the reason why you cannot touch the kids. Besides all the legal and justified reasons, you can't touch kids because you will be attacked by Sommers' thorn ability. As far as Killingham goes, though, again, pretty obvious, but he does have the Keating Devil Fruit, the Dragon Fruit model Keating, which of course goes back to his introduction, where Killingham's name in Japanese, or however it's supposed to be pronounced, is a play on words of Keating. So there we go. And we learn that Killingham is, of course, the one who has the ability to materialize objects from people's dreams. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that is a broken ability, right? When you hear it on paper like that, it just reminds me of Sun God Nika and Luffy, because that's exactly what Luffy is able to do, more or less, right? Luffy doesn't really know what's happening. He's never talked about it, but he's able to bring out things out of his hair. He's able to manifest things. So it's like, yeah, Killingham's ability sounds absolutely crazy, especially when you add on the fact that he is a Zoan Devil Fruit user and his base stats get boosted up heavily already. Yeah, Killingham sounds like an absolute monster. And as far as Sommers go, going back to him, I do wonder how this is going to look. Like, do thorns pop out of the kids? Is it like an invisible thorn? I'm not too sure. But with Sommers' ability, it does say that the stronger you love the target, the more damage you will end up taking. And again, it's like, wait, how does that look? Like, are the thorns just really big and spiky, or is it just like something where you can't even see what's happening and you get hurt, right? So we got a lot of cool things going on here, and I just love how aura is the wrong word. I'm trying to use the word aura less and less, but these God Knights, while this is all happening, imagine Elbaph, it's set ablaze, Loki hit it with lightning, kids are walking off, monsters are in the forest, and these God Knights, they're having a picnic. These guys are eating in the forest. Sommers even says, hey, Killingham, can you pass me some salt? Can you manifest some salt? And Killingham does it. So Killingham, his ability is so easy to use that when Sommers asks for salt, Killingham makes Sommers fall asleep, or I think Sommers just casually falls asleep. I'm not too sure, but Killingham grabs the salt and gives it to him. Like, it's crazy how this works, right? So yeah, the Holy Knights are straight up chilling. Sad to say though, but we do not see Shamrock in this chapter. Shamrock has no mention yet in the brief spoilers. So I do wonder if he's still here. I still think there is like a small chance that he is, right? Because we do know that the kids are heading to a ship, and that's how the God Knights are going to leave. Well, not Sommers and Killingham, because they came here via Magic Circle, but I do think that is how Gunko is going to get off the island. And if Shamrock is still here, then maybe they just go back together, right? So yes, this God Knight portion I think is massive. Like I said, destroys my theory about them being actual transformations, but that is fine. We roll with the punches. If a theory does not end up being true, no big deal, right? It's another Tuesday for One Piece, right? So going on though, we go back to Luffy's group. And bro, I saw a couple of people bring up this idea last week, and I didn't agree with it, but I didn't hate it because I could totally see it happening. But I had some people saying, oh, like, what if Luffy just one-shots Loki? And I was like, okay, he could, because Loki is just at 10 HP, right? Like, he is barely alive. But you gotta admit, what we saw last chapter, it looked like Loki was ready to throw down hands. But no, Luffy punches Loki with a weak blow, and Loki faints. That's it. That is the end of the battle. And like I said, like, it makes sense, but at the same time, like, we brought down Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Harden, the gang. It was like, okay, like, it looks like we're gonna brawl out against Loki, right? But no, one weak attack is all it took, and Loki faints. And like I said, it makes sense. Even Zoro says that Loki was already near death. So yeah, it all works out. And I can't wait to see how this is gonna look. Like, is Loki still yelling at them and threatening them? And then Luffy's just like, and that's it? Because the spoilers say Luffy uses a weak punch. So it's like, oh, okay, like, what is this gonna be? Is this even Gear 5th? Is this base Luffy? Gear 3rd? I don't know, man. So now that Loki has fainted, Luffy turns to Gerd, right? A member of the new Giant Warrior Pirates, one of the best female giants out there. And he says, hey, can you treat Loki? And we gotta remember, Luffy wanted a doctor 2 chapters ago. And it looks like Luffy is doing just that. So Gerd, of course, I don't blame her, but she doesn't initially want to help Loki, but she ends up caving in anyways. And that makes sense. I mean, this guy woke up and attacked the tree. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't seem like an honest-to-God civilian right now, right? But, of course, Grand Fleet member Harden's probably here too. They're gonna do it. And especially since Luffy just handled Loki like that. Like, yeah, I mean, if Loki wakes up, what are we gonna do? Hit him with another weak attack, right? So after that, we do get a small flashback of Loki and Harden's childhood. And Loki, this guy, like I said, I think it makes sense for Harden to not like Loki, right? Loki's like triple his size. Loki's mom could live in the castle. And now we get the reveal that Loki bullied Harden. Yeah, Harden, he gets a pass, right? It makes sense why he hates him if Loki's over here bullying him every damn near day, right? So we also see that Harden, we already saw this coming, Harden does want revenge for Loki killing their dad. But that is when we get to the end of the chapter and Loki wakes up and he says, I'm gonna read this verbatim. Loki says, do you really think that I killed father because I wanted to? Even you know that that is not true. And that is where we end the chapter. And bro, here we have it. Loki confirms that he did indeed kill King Harold. But of course, like we all saw coming, there is more to this story. There's a chance that King Harold might not have been a good guy, right? Like, we saw this, right? The minute when Somers said, hey, Shamrock, did you visit King Harold's grave? It was like, oh, okay, yep, there goes his legacy, right? There we go. We're tossing it in the trash. He's probably a Celestial Dragon sympathizer or somebody who is working with the world government. And yeah, it looks like Loki only killed King Harold because he had no choice. And it looks like deep down, based on the way Loki is wording this, it seems as if Harden might have known that this was the case deep down as well. And that right there is where we end off the chapter. And dude, next week, we're possibly going to find out what the hell King Harold was up to and what nefariousness he was all about to make Loki have to kill him, right? I mean, we saw that picture of him. He did not look like a good guy. And just the more we learn about King Harold, the worse and worse he looks, in my opinion. But yes, that is it, y'all. Let me know what you think about this chapter down below. What do you think about the God Knights, their powers, their devil fruits even? And also, how do you feel about Loki going down in a single blow? But of course, when you really boil it down, Loki was never really our enemy, right? He was always just a guy who was working on our side in a way, but just going about things differently, right? He was always going to be with us one way or another. So I think it's kind of funny that things ended this way, right? It ended in a way that not a lot of people really expected. I remember talking to a lot of friends about this, and they're like, yeah, like, they're going to go all out, and then the Straw Hats are going to win, or, oh, maybe the Straw Hats catch an L, and Loki just has something that we've never seen before. And then, boom, Oda hits you with a gray card saying, nope, Loki goes down in a single blow because he's at death, right? So I don't mind it. That's just how it is, bro. But again, I would love to hear all your thoughts and opinions down below on these spoilers, and we will be back tomorrow for the full spoiler summary, where we're going to get a lot more details about what the hell is going on in this chapter. And also, now that we have multiple Devil Fruits revealed for the God Knights, which one is your favorite? You know, we got Gunko with the Arrow no Mi, we got Sommers with the Thorn Fruit, and we also have Killingham with the frickin' Kirin Fruit. Whose ability do you like the most? As it stands right now, I kind of like Sommers' ability and just the way it sounds, but I gotta see it for myself, right? Like, if thorns actually shoot up off of the ground, or if thorns are like floating in the air and just rotating around the kids, I think that'd be awesome. But if it's something you can't see, you know, because obviously we saw the kids walking, we didn't see anything around them. So if it's invisible, not the biggest fan of it, right? Because I like the way thorns look, so I'd rather them just like be there, you know what I mean? That's silly, but yeah, I think Sommers is pretty cool. And then we have the Kirin Fruit, man, which is just absolutely crazy. You know, he's over here sporting out some Sun God Nika abilities over here with his dreams and stuff. But yeah, either way, I'm just kind of rambling now. I will catch you all later. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for watching this video till the end, and peace out, y'all. Have a good one.